We have made it through one hell of a year.
All too many have experienced profound loss and grief. Instinctively, we know that we need to take care of ourselves. But for many, the familiar concept of self-care is not natural, easy, or even accessible. And it's only part of the solution.
2020 was the year of the self, of isolation, of waving at colleagues and friends from afar. We learned how much we can and can't do alone, and we learned how small the world feels when we can't reach out and touch someone or even see their smile. Let's make 2021 the year of community.
One of the most important lessons I think we've learned from the pandemic is the importance of connection. How connection to one another brings us joy, gives us comfort, clarifies our purpose, and provides us with a sense of belonging, a sense of community. Our communities are where we feel at home, most free to be our full and authentic selves. Our communities are where we turn to for support and understanding. And they're also where we go when we need to celebrate our victories or to find solace for our losses. As much as our communities can be beautiful because they can offer us support when we need it, they're also beautiful because they give us the gift to support others when they need it.
And for so long, our profession has been characterized by its cutthroat nature, its rugged individualism, and community care is just not something that most attorneys have top of mind. But if we're to make the practice of law not just accessible to attorneys from historically marginalized groups, but to make success available and to make success sustainable, we really need to focus on caring for one another.
Certain aspects of the practice of law, especially high stress and isolation, create and exacerbate the perfect conditions for mental health challenges such as depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Addressing these issues, which in one way or another affect all of us, require concrete action steps that depend on the concept of community care.
The structures that allow the self to thrive were never made for us, and in most cases, were designed to keep us oppressed and isolated. We have always relied on community care to survive, whether we labeled it community care or not. And our movement for LGBTQ rights and liberation is the way we practice community care in our legal work. It requires us to be vulnerable, active, connected, and loving.
Community care is solidarity. It's a movement that we all have a role to play. It's our responsibility to speak for those who may feel silenced, to stand for those who may be unable to stand, and to fight for holistic access to services when those who need them most may feel defeated by systemic oppression. Community care looks different for all of us. Strength looks different. And how we support one another looks different.
Community care, it opens space for all of us to come together, to listen, to reflect.
Whether we do this by participating in employee resource groups, by serving as mentors within our organization, advocating for more inclusive policies and procedures, speaking out against microaggressions when they occur in the workplace, or just by listening to our colleagues and making sure that they feel heard.
We have to do more for each other on every front, including supporting Black and trans-led organizations, showing up in numbers to reflect the diversity and unity of our movement, and most importantly, help each other in revolutionary and dynamic ways, like setting up LGBTQ food banks and providing direct economic relief to LGBTQ people.
Ultimately, community care is as simple as taking the time to look out for those around you.
It starts with taking care of ourselves, and I think that means being our true and authentic selves wherever we work, in all facets of our lives.
Community care is a word of empowerment.
Resistance is a psychological necessity for love. And for that reason, I think that working toward LGBTQ justice and liberation is a form of community care.
Every person deserves to live, work, and play with dignity and respect, not despite who we are, but because of it. We must tend to our hearts and spirits as fiercely as we fight for our rights.
Because for LGBTQ plus folks, community care is self-care.
I think it is a new and important way as LGBTQ plus people that we can say, we're here.
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 We're here. we're here.